Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Deer Park Coaches Show. He's Tucker Berger. I'm Jake Snyder. Tucker, the Wildcats 4-0 for the first time since 2018 after a 26-6 win over crosstown rival Reading. You moved to number 1 in Division 6 Region 24, one of just 3 unbeaten teams left in Region 24. We're going to break down this game tonight, but just give me your opening thoughts. It feels pretty darn good to be 4-0, doesn't it?
Yeah, and, I think that's a big win for us. Going into that week, there's a bunch of stuff online about kind of the level of competition we'd played up until then. But, when you finally get a CHL team and you show up like we did, I think that really answers a lot of those questions on, how good are you, your physicality levels and things like that. But I think the biggest thing is that I think we played a clean game.
Yeah.
It felt like from start to finish we were locked in. We weren't getting penalties that we were getting in the past. I mean, I think out of all the penalties I can remember, they were holding calls. We had an offsides, and I think we had an offsides on kickoff. And I can live with the holding calls because that means we're actually putting in some effort down the field.
Right.
But I think, start to finish, the guys just were really locked in, and that's what we're going to need the rest of the season. It doesn't get any easier from here. It only gets tougher because you're just staring down bigger schools, higher divisions. And, how the CHL is. I think throughout the past maybe 3 or 4 years, we've beat and lost to everybody but one school.
Yeah.
So, it floats back and forth, it seems like, every year. So there's a lot of variability in there. So, every night might not be our night, but if we show up and play, it could be our night. So I think that's the biggest thing for just keeping these guys on track.
Yeah, we know what the CHL is going to be. Every single year it's going to be a gauntlet in and out, and that every single team, like you said, any given year can be up, down, could be all over the place.
Yeah.
And so, we got Finneytown coming up this week, and then you look into, those next 3-4 games. You see a world where you could go 4-0. You see a world where you go 0-4 in those games. Those are all good football teams, and so kind of locking in and focusing on one at a time, set one up, knock one down, kind of mentality. So. Offensively this week, I thought we were pretty clean for the most part. I felt like this game, the score wasn't completely indicative of what this game, the way the game was played.
No.
But offensively, you've got 144 yards passing and 11 for 18 from 2 different guys, and we'll get into that in a minute. But and then you rush for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really pretty solid game overall offensively. Morgan Brown has 135 yards on 12 carries. He has a touchdown run. He throws for a touchdown. Again, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we had 2 guys that had the trifecta.
Yeah, that's right, which is pretty wild. So just give me an offensive breakdown, how you felt things went on Friday night.
Like I said earlier, I thought it was really clean. We challenged the guys to go in there, do our stuff, and get the job done. I think that's what they did. It sucks because I think we had some holds that really killed drives. And that set us back a little bit, so I think that 26 could have been a little bit higher, which I would have liked. But, I can't get mad at the effort. The offensive line is playing as well as they can. I thought pass protection was great. I thought everything in the run game was great. When Taj is back there, and he touched the ball the most out of anyone, and it surprised me when I was going through stat in the game and watching it that, he had 19 carries, and I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't realize Taj had that many in the first half.
Yeah.
But, he does so much, and the offensive line does so much that, once Taj starts eating and getting those 3-4 yard carries, they might not seem big on the stat sheet, but, that starts sucking the defense in. And when then they come in, then you see what the guys on the outside can do. So, Titus, Morgan, Tink, CJ, those guys all made some big plays, catching and running the ball. And that's just because every phase of our offense is really moving in the right direction right now. I don't think there's one place where I can just pencil in and be like, man, we're really weak here.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a good job of mixing everything up, and I thought we did a really good job of, throwing the football accurately and running the ball effectively on Friday.
Yeah, let's jump into some film here. We're going to start with Sellers throwing the ball because I want to start with a non-touchdown play and what I thought was maybe his best throw of the day. This was as good as it got. This is going to be early in the game. It's a 32-yard pass from Sellers to Lewis. You're backed up into your own end zone here. Mm-hmm. You need a big play right here. There's no doubt about it. It's only 6-0. We're just getting started. Talk me through this one.
Yeah, and touching on where we started, there were I think 2 times in this game we started back inside our 10.
Yeah.
We went 13 plays, 95 yards I think right before half, and then we had another, I think this was like 12 for 90 yards maybe and scored. But this is a play where we trust Caden to go make a play. I like the matchup. You can see he has the size advantage. Yep. Tink does a good job of putting that up where really Caden's the only guy that can go get it. So if Caden doesn't catch it, it's out of bounds. If he overthrows him, he misses out of bounds. We just set up for second down. Yep. So really, it's a low risk, high reward, as you can see. And Caden makes a heck of a grab. And these are the things that I think get hidden within all the weapons we have. If we had really not 6-7 guys that I trusted with the ball, you'd probably see Caden making a whole lot more plays like this. But that's kind of the beauty and the bad part of being on such an offense that has so many pieces is that, you don't always get the call. But, these are things he doesn't practice. So we see it. We trust him to make the plays. And throughout the year so far, when we've called on him to do it,
every time
he makes the play every single time. You think back to the Schroeder game, he tips the ball up to himself, he catches it. This game, he goes up over this kid, catches the ball, and really gets a little juice into the drive going down the field. He's a great weapon to have on the outside. I don't think in my 6 years here we've had a receiver like him that's just a bigger body that can do all the things he does athletically. We can put him down in the ground and let him run routes from the tight end spot. We can put him down, let him block. We can widen him out. So, he's really just like another chess piece that we can use and move him around to really, just boost what we're doing offensively.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one thing we didn't highlight there was the clean pocket on that play. I thought your offensive line did a really nice job of protecting your quarterbacks kind of from all angles on that one. We're going to jump into our next play here. Just a nice, simple, clean as it can be, easy goes touchdown pass here from Sellers to Brown that really kind of busted this game open here. Reg, you're going into halftime.
Yeah, so defense did a really good job getting us the ball back and getting us in spots. They got the ball back down on the inside the 10, and the offense, they really worked a solid 4-minute drive.
Yeah, for sure.
We went down the field and we scored with about 17 seconds. Well, actually 17 seconds left. But this is just a play that we rep in practice all the time when we get down here. We knew Reading was going to play us in some man coverage, and that's just, trust the athlete. I know those guys, they're big-time players. They're going to make plays when it counts the most, and Morgan runs a really good route. Tink knows he's aiming for that pylon, so if he misses, it's going out of bounds. We line back up, it's second down, and we got another shot.
Ball gets out at the right time there as well. You like that early. Get it out early and make the throw. So definitely like to see the way they handled that one. Again, it's smooth. And I think that's been something interesting to me this year, watching this team play, is it's not necessarily the 80-yard touchdown runs or the 75-yard touchdown passes. Where we're winning games is being effective offensively and being effective throughout the game, keeping the defense off the field. Big plays are great. Obviously, I'm not going to turn down an 80-yard touchdown run, but giving some of those defensive players some time to take a breather, to recollect themselves, giving your staff a chance to kind of settle in and figure out what's going on with the game. So
well, and I think that's kind of been the biggest difference for us offensively than in years past is, we're not relying on the 80, 70-yard touchdown to get us going. We're really, 4, 4, 3, 3, and then, we hit a 30, a 20, a 15-yard play. And that really boosts us. So I think now we're just doing a good job of not really trying to press issues. We're taking what they give us. We're okay with not breaking home runs. But I think that goes back to our guys just not being selfish about things. I mean, you can watch this whole film and everybody at some point's blocking. I mean, Tink goes out to receiver and you see him blocking. I mean, that's not normal for a quarterback to do.
Right.
But I think everybody that's contributing on the offense, everybody that plays on the offense is kind of bought into that. It's not a me thing, it's a we thing. I mean, right now we're averaging right over 35 points a game. I mean, I don't know how many yards we're averaging, but I assume we're upwards of 300. So, and I mean, we're not doing it with just home run. We're doing it with long sustained drives, which, I mean, that's more sustainable than breaking off home runs because you're not going to be able to do that every single week.
For sure. All right, so we're going to jump into kind of, I think, the biggest talking point of this game, obviously.
Yeah.
For a lot of the second half, but it really started here in the second quarter. We saw Morgan Brown under center in the gun playing quarterback. What you and I have talked about this before a little bit, and we've seen Morgan take some snaps. But what was the factor in this game of making the decision to give him a few looks and put this on film?
Yeah. So I think it's really twofold. I think the first thing is, he's such a dynamic player that he needs the ball in his hands. And, at times it's a little difficult to get him the ball at slot. I mean, you look back to our Schroeder game, I think he touched the ball 7 times.
Yeah.
I mean, we were still effective, but, I mean, you want that number to go up for a guy like him. So we work on this in practice. We worked on it over the summer. So, I mean, he's not uncomfortable being back there.
Yeah.
But I think what we did at first was we probably had too much on the plate for him. So we had to shrink it down. The other thing is, Tink against Norwood got a little banged up. So it was trying to limit hits on him. But, I mean, the other big thing is I know if Tink goes to college, he's probably not going to play quarterback.
Sure.
So, getting him a little bit of film on the outside, maximizing his potential and showing what he can do, because, I mean, he's a heck of a receiver.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you'll see it here soon. But, I mean, he's a heck of a receiver. So, getting him the ball, too, in other ways is effective. I mean, there are a few plays on tape against Norwood where Morgan went to quarterback, but it was just a run and a sweep.
Yeah.
But now you add in the fact that he can throw the ball, too, and it really adds just a whole nother element to our offense when he's back there because, I mean, if you let him throw the ball, he can obviously make the throws, but if you let him run, I mean, you already know what he can do with the ball in his hands.
Right.
So now it's just, it's just something else that teams are going to have to prepare for moving forward. But I think this just all adds back into, I mean, these guys are just both big-time players that if you call on them, no matter the situation, no matter the spot, they're going to make the play. I mean, the play we're about to watch, Morgan's getting barreled down by an all-out blitz, and he stays in there and makes a heck of a throw. I mean, he sits there, takes a hit, and he puts the ball in a perfect spot for Tink to go make a play. So, I mean, that's just having confidence in yourself and having confidence in each other. I mean, like I said, these two they're basically brothers. I mean, the way that they're always together, they'll pick at each other in practice, and it really just builds, I think, a little bit of that fire between the two because they're just pushing each other to be great. And, I mean, you see plays like this. I mean, we haven't had the ability to do this in the past where we could just switch like that and, just our offense doesn't miss a beat. So I think being able to do things like this and being able for both of those guys to make plays like they are right here just makes us so much more dangerous.
Man, looking at this play, really kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of this one, Morgan, they're rushing 8 here, I think, or at least 7.
Yeah,
it's an all-out blitz, and he just stands there and delivers this ball. I mean, to step into that throw and take the hit.
Oh, yeah.
If you just look at that still shot, to make this throw over the back of the defense, over the top, Tink runs underneath it and goes and gets it.
Yeah.
That's special, man. That's a really special
Well,
play.
trust me, all I heard the next day was, I didn't get my roughing the passer. That's roughing the passer. And I'm like, dude, just be quiet. Good throw.
All right, we're gonna jump into some of these guys rushing the ball as well. 224 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The first play that I want to look at is Morgan's first rushing touchdown here. This is into the into the second half, running down on the bottom of the end of the third quarter here. And again, he's back under center, in shotgun, but he's back at quarterback. This run was about as good as I've seen from a perspective of him see the hole, hit the hole, get vertical, and go.
Well, and this is something we practice it every day with him back there, it just adds another element. I mean, this is a play we have it in the playbook when Tink's back there. We don't call it as much, but
Sure.
we have the ability to call it. But, that's the thing is that when either one of them's back there, we have, maybe 1.5 different playbooks.
Yeah.
And I think the offensive line just blocked this perfectly. We looked at it from the other side, and Andre does a good job of widening the guy out, getting the hole. Titus does a good job of occupying that guy, and then, you let Morgan just be Morgan,
Right.
and he makes the play. That's 4th and 1, and he splits that hole and takes off.
Yeah.
That's saying once he gets north and south, I don't think there's many guys that are going to catch him. So that's just a heck of a job up front. That's a heck of a read by him, and heck of a job to get vertical and go.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to jump backwards. I'm going to go off script for a second here because I want to look at Tink's run on the 5th play of the game. But to not look at this first play of the game for a second here feels like it's an injustice to the kick that Caden had here. So talk me through this onside kick. This changes. I don't think I'm overstating it when I say it changes the course of the game because you're getting a possession off the first half and a possession off the second half.
It was huge.
That's huge. Talk me through what's going on here. Did you know this was the plan from the start, or is it something you saw on film? What's going on here?
Man, it's just a lucky bounce. So Caden normally, he kicks the ball in the end zone sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah.
But this one we're trying to put the ball in about the 30 and let it kind of roll down there. And the ball just happens to hit the guy, and we make a heck of a play and recover it.
Yeah.
I think one, that's a good job by Caden. He kicks it hard enough to where the kid's not going to catch it. But two, the awareness of our guys on the kickoff team to pick the ball up and make a play off of it,
100%.
I think are huge too. And I think that really just gave us a lot of energy and a spark to start the game because it's not like we came out like, hey, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah, right.
It's just blink of an eye, boom, we made a play, and it's like, okay, like
let's go.
We got the momentum, let's go. And we carried it into the first drive, as you're about to see. But it's just so huge because this is maybe the 3rd week in a row where we've made a play on all 3 phases.
Yeah, for sure.
And now you just see how much that affects the game.
Yeah.
Doing things like that, grabbing extra possessions, that puts us in a good spot. We could have been up 18-0 at halftime with them coming out. They could have scored, and it could have been a whole different ball game.
Right.
But the fact that we came out and had the ball and really kind of got a chance to put the game away, I think that just makes it even bigger for us.
Yeah. All right, so this is that drive now. We're going to look at this play. It's really just kind of Sellers making a play. It's a 29-yard touchdown run, obviously a designed pass, but nothing's there for him. He gets out wide, and there's nobody there.
Yeah, so, Redding's running a cover 3 shell right here, so they got the safety in the back taking the seam that Caden's running across the middle of the field, and then those outside corners are running with the verticals. You got 2 guys on the outside running deep. They're going to run, but there's no one out there in the flat. So Tink does a good job of seeing them run. Yep. He sees those guys turning their backs, and he takes off, and he's just an athlete. As soon as he tucks it, he knows I'm getting to the sideline, so I'm either getting out or I'm getting in. And he goes straight down the field, and he makes a great play. Those are things you just can't coach with him. He's an athlete, and he makes athletic plays, and that just shows really some of the things he can do when he's on the run. So we don't overcoach him. We have built-in things for if he doesn't like reads. Yeah. But, if he's making plays like that, I'm never going to tell him, man, well, you should have done this. I'll just let him be who he is until I got to get on him. Yeah. But, if he keeps making plays like that, he's going to go a real, real long way in this offense.
Yeah, just to wrap the offense up here, I thought the name of the game in this matchup was really just balance. Mm-hmm. It felt like we ran the ball well. We threw the ball when we needed to. Obviously we talked about 6 receivers making catches.
Yeah.
Getting to showcase all of those weapons a little bit. Balance is where we're going to be the most successful. It's the most sustainable, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the biggest thing for us is if we're balanced across the board, it forces the defense to be balanced across the board.
Yeah.
You look at week 1, obviously Morgan and Tink dominate the touches, right? Morgan has 11, 12 catches. You come out week 2 and Schroeder overloads on him. Mm-hmm. But now as you spread the ball around and, Caden gets his catches, Taj, CJ, Titus, Morgan, as you keep adding guys into the fold, they can't really just narrow one guy because then you got 4 or 5 other guys that can make plays. So I think that's the biggest thing right now is we are doing a good job of spreading the ball out. We're
Yep.
doing a good job of getting a lot of guys touches. And as you get that on film, I mean, teams see it and they're like, oh, well, we got to, we can't leave him open because, we leave CJ open.
Yep.
He's going to catch the ball. And I mean, CJ's 6th or 7th in the league in receiving yards.
Right.
So it's guys that are making plays that don't always show up, but it's guys that we trust to make plays. I mean, every week somebody's making a play that you don't really hear about. So
yeah,
I think we're just doing a good job of spreading it around. I think guys are doing a good job of being there and making the play when it's their time to shine, and I think it's just going to help us down the road.
for sure. All right, jumping to the defensive side of the ball here. I think balance is the right word for this one too. As funny as that goes, you have 5 sacks in this game. You have 12 tackles for loss. Again, we said there was one big play, and we'll look at that one here coming up. But really, for the most part, just doing your job was what people did throughout this game. Sefa Saki has 12 tackles. Caden has 9, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. I just want to stop for a second because these two, Sefa and Caden, I don't think you knew what you had when this whole thing started. Those two kids, and the fact that they're on either side of that defensive line, man, it's a big reason you're 4-0 right now. I think that's fair to say, yeah.
It's incredible because you think about, I mean, they're both, they haven't played 5 games.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Caden's kicked in games before, but he's played 4 games on offense or defense, and Sefa's played 3.
Yeah.
And I mean, I give the credit to those guys' work ethic, but I mean, also a lot of credit I think goes to my dad just because, he's spending so much time with those two, making sure their technique right, making sure, they're correcting mistakes from the week before, making sure that they're in the right position and things like that. So, I mean, taking all the experience and the knowledge that he has and just really just funneling it into these guys is just huge. I mean, Caden's doing it and he practices twice a week.
Yep.
I mean, he's playing soccer every other day, and he comes to football twice a week, and one of them is a Thursday practice where it's more or less a walkthrough.
Yep.
And then Sefa, just relatively new to the game, didn't know a whole lot about it coming over here, and you see what he's doing. I mean, it's just insane the growth that these guys have made since we've started, and I mean, I love it for these guys because they're 2 great kids that just deserve it because all they do is work, and they're really grinders. I mean, you look at a practice, you look at a game. I mean, these are 2 guys who just play with their emotions on their sleeve. I mean, Caden, after everything, he's celebrating, and it's great. Sefa, I mean, he's energizing everybody on the field. So, I mean, these 2 guys are just really carrying us right now.
Yeah, we're going to jump into the film here, and the first one that we're going to look at, first quarter, 6-0 game. It's 3rd and 8. So again, we've talked about this so often about getting off the field on 3rd downs.
Yeah.
It wears out the defense when you give up, especially these long 3rd down plays. Sefa just does things that nobody else really in this league can do. I mean, there's a reason he's getting offers from USC and Vanderbilt and all of these major programs, major players across the country. But it's plays like this. It's the motor. It's just beating a guy square off the line and saying, I'm going to go get the quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you get every day with him. I mean, guys that are in his situation might not practice hard. They might not want to show up and do the little things. But, I mean, that motor, it never stops. That's a great play. He gets off the ball quick. He beats the guy inside, and then he just keeps running. He runs the guy down, and he forces the guy to step up into everybody else. But, I mean, as soon as he gets there, you're not going to outrun him.
Right.
But we also do a really good job on the other side of just really funneling that guy in, and he has nowhere to go. I mean, if we're not there on the other side, if Caden's not there forcing him back in, I mean, that guy just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and then, backers have to pull up and guys might be running free in that second window. But Sefa does a good job of just forcing that boot to continue to go. Caden does a good job of walling it back in, and then everybody else collapses. So I think we're doing a really good job right now of just playing team defense and getting to the ball and making plays like that. And I mean, the guys that are stepping up and have the stats are really setting things up for everybody else to come through. I mean, looking at the game, I mean, we had a lot of guys with a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
Wyatt Tornator is a guy who hasn't been on the field a whole lot for us, and I think he played a great game on Friday. Yeah. So it's guys that are getting their chance to shine, and they're really showing up and making plays. So, it's really a group effort, and I think this is probably the most team defense we've played in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of, we're gonna jump to a play later in the game here by a guy who had 7 tackles, recovered a fumble in this game, DeJuan Hedges.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a look at his sack here. We can go through this list. C.J. Warner has 14 tackles in this game. Morgan has 9 tackles in the secondary. Like you just said, I mean, the team defense was incredible. But walk me through this one with DeJuan here.
Yeah. So he's at our linebacker spot, and he does a good job of seeing it, and then as soon as he sees that hole and he thinks that guy's going to commit, he does a good job of closing down. He sees his open window, he goes, he breaks down, he makes a good play. I talked about him last week. That's just a guy who shows up and he grinds. I mean, we have a defense full of young guys who just want to play. And I think they take full advantage of the opportunity to make plays. I think the linebacker group was one we kind of questioned coming in. We lost 2 starters from last year. We had Nick get banged up a little bit earlier this year, who had played a really good week 1. But, I think the guys that are filling in have done a good job. I mean, you look at CJ, you look at Juan, you look at Wyatt. They're all really buying into it. And, they're all taking advantage of their opportunity. Coach Copeland, he's doing a great job with those guys. First year on the staff, he's really buying into that, and he really pushes the guys in practice. It's to a point where those guys get mad at him sometimes just because he's making them work so hard. But I don't think they realize how much we've grown at backer since the summer just because of the effort they're putting in, what they're buying into what he's saying and how hard he's coaching them. Linebacker, you got to be a dog to play linebacker.
Yeah.
And, these guys are really starting to turn into those dogs because they're coming up, they're making plays. They're not shying away from anything. So I thought our linebacker play was really good, and especially against a wing T offense like this. You need it. Juan's just one of the cogs in the defense that's making plays, and I think he's taking full advantage of his time to play.
For sure. Last play we're going to look at, I thought the defensive play of the night. It's early in the fourth quarter, but Reading, inside the red zone here.
Yep.
Your defense inside the red zone was really, really good in this game. I thought. But this play, it's kind of just an otherworldly one by Caden here.
Yeah. So you'll see him at the top of the screen. He beats the guy. And, it's that motor, it's that energy we talk about. He doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He could slow down a little bit. He could, as soon as that guy gets hands on him right at the top, he couldn't. But, you see him work the hands, rip through, just like he's taught, and he bends around that edge. And, that's just picture perfect. Attack the top shoulder. Yep. He sees the guy get ready to go. He makes a play on the ball, and then he recovers it. That's just – those are things that, as a coach, you love to see on film because it means he's taking in what you're telling him, right? He's taking in the techniques we're telling him. He's taking in, just those little tidbits we're giving him on, where to attack, things to do if you get to the top shoulder, where you need to be. And, just seeing that is great because it shows that, one, he's getting better.
Yeah.
But I think from here you can realize how much potential he has from here and how much growth he can still make. He's leading the league in sacks, and he's played 4 games. It's kind of insane what he's doing. But I don't think anyone is shocked by it.
Nobody's surprised. Right?
Just because of how much he does, and I think how athletic he is and how bought in he is to every single thing he does. He's just a really bright spot on the season, and I think, as we continue and as we play more games and we play, more CHL schools, I think teams are going to really start realizing how good he actually is.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Overall, look at this thing. Mm-hmm. You're 4-0 for the first time since 2018.
Yep.
You're sitting at number 1 in Region 24.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that doesn't mean much.
No.
Because how you finish is the only thing that actually matters.
Yep.
When you overlook when you look back at the 2025 season,
mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean it's not exciting.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you kind of balance that of you may only get to play, if you start as a freshman, you may only get to play 45 football games in your entire high school career. So you got to enjoy every moment of it. And, most of them, like you said, Caden might get 12, 14, hopefully 15 games in his high school career. But how do you kind of take that, make sure they're enjoying it, make sure that they understand what they're doing, but also keep your focus towards next week?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the biggest thing we've done so far is I think we've done a great job of, celebrating the wins on Friday.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Saturday hits, we're on to the next week. We do a good job of focusing on who's in front of us, who we're playing, and that's it. I mean, yesterday in practice we talked about I don't care what happens after Finneytown. I don't care what's happened before Finneytown. The only thing we're worried about is Finneytown.
Yeah.
But, I mean, after these wins, it's nice to, hey, go celebrate.
Yeah.
Go in the locker room, play your music, get hyped, jump around, go ring the bell, do things like that because the weeks are taxing. I mean, like right now, Monday through Thursday, I mean, I feel like I'm emotionally drained after a Friday. So, I mean, I think just how much you put into it and now you're seeing the results and you're seeing the success is huge. So letting them celebrate all the hard work they've put in during the week, letting them celebrate their success, letting them celebrate how well they're playing. What you don't realize is, we have 14 seniors, but we have a lot of young guys contributing.
For sure.
And I think they need to see, hey, this is what happens when you win. Good things happen when you win. You get to have fun when you win. You get to celebrate when you win. But right now, it's not a bad thing with having young guys, but sometimes it's a little tougher to get them back on track.
Right.
But I think we've done a good job as a staff of, hey, it doesn't matter what just happened. Cool, you're 5-0. You're 4-0. Hey, you just beat Reading for the first time in 7 years. Cool, it happens. But now we're on to Finneytown.
Yep.
Your goal is going 5-0.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you just did. It doesn't matter who you just beat. We're on to the next obstacle, and then it just keeps moving on from there.
Yep. All right, let's jump into our student athletes of the week for Deer Park High School this week. We say it every week, but it's one of my favorite segments, and great to recognize all of these players.
For sure. So
we're going to start with the girls soccer team. Coach Bullock's nomination for that was Kylan Harrison, and she's a senior leader, not only crushing it on the field. She scored a goal this week, but also providing just invaluable support to her peers on and off the field. Amazing work from Kylan there. Cheerleading, Coach Nolan nominated Paige Rainey this week. Paige's optimism and strong work ethic shine through every time she cheers, is what Coach Nolan said about her. Always smiling, encouraging teammates, and engaging the crowd. Paige plays a key role in fostering a positive and energetic atmosphere both on game day and within our team. And just to take a second and jump back to last Friday, obviously with military and first responders night was awesome, but the energy in the building, like you can really start to feel it now, and it's
starting to pick up.
You win football games, and it turns out that that's the way it goes, and we won it that way. And another big one on Friday where we're gonna have some energy.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and talk about your nomination for your team this week, Robert Reese.
Yeah, so Robert is the lone freshman starter for us. He plays center for us, and he earned it. I think back to when we started workouts in the winter, and Robert was there every day, and he actually did a great job of bringing guys from his class out to be in there with us. He's doing a great job of just leading that freshman class, but also I think he's adapting well to playing on a varsity level for the first time. He's one of those guys that just shows up, doesn't say much, and just gets the job done. Robert's a great guy to have on the team. He's a great kid to have around other players. He's a leader by trade, and he's getting it done in the classroom too. So Robert just does everything you want as a coach, and we really appreciate
We have a JV volleyball nomination as well this week, so getting in on the JV action as well. That's Brianna Gravely. She had an incredible week for JV volleyball, recorded 11 kills in 3 matches. And Coach Kelly said her aggressive instinctive play at the net helped JV take 2 big wins home this week. Bree always works hard, listens, and applies what she is being taught at practices into gameplay. So recognizing her as well. And then lastly, for our volleyball team, Coach Beach's nomination was Grace Loudon. Grace had an awesome week for the varsity squad this week. 3 matches, led the team with 78 total digs, 52 digs in a 5-set match against, and just an absolute heartbreaker against Indian Hill. Tough loss for them, but an incredible match, and those are things you love to see.
Yeah. Well, and I think the interesting thing is when you look on Deer Park Athletics, it seemed like there's a record being broke every single week. I mean, I think this past week, actually, I think it was 2 days ago. Lexi Joyner broke the record for saves in the game. I think she had 37, and we talked about it. She's never played goalie before,
right.
So I think you just see the progress that she's making, and then you look at the volleyball side of things, and I know Abby Woodley tied the kill record, I think, against Indian Hill. I think Abby broke a record that game. I think Grace broke a record that game. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just crazy that these guys are just doing so much. And, it's just nice to see all these people during the fall are kind of just really we're all building it up together. And I think the coaches are all in the same mindset. So it's just good to see all these girls getting recognized for all their hard work and, all the good things they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that's going to do it for the student athletes of the week. All right, let's talk about this week. It's a big one. Obviously, they're all going to be big from here on out. So I'm going to say that every single week. It's a big one. But it's homecoming week. Yeah. Finneytown, the stadium's going to be packed out. You got the parade beforehand. Talk about Finneytown, what they bring to the table. We were talking a little before. They're a little confusing defensively. And that scares you a little bit when you don't know kind of what they're going to bring at you. Just tell me a little bit about Finneytown.
Yeah, so first year under new head coach, and I've talked to him throughout the week, and he's a good guy. I think he's doing it the right way over there. He wants to succeed. He wants to know how he can get better and how he can get his team better. Yeah. And I think when you hear that and you see that, it's something you appreciate, especially because I was in that same situation last year. I think out of all the teams we've seen so far, they probably match us the most athletically. They got a really good quarterback. And I mean, he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, so that's going to be a challenge for us. And I mean, they got some bigger kids up front. I mean, they got a kid that leads the league in tackles, so I mean, they're active on defense. They did just recently switch from one front to another front on film. So just trying to manage and think about what we're going to get. Sometimes you can look back to past years and kind of see what they've done to us, but under a first year coach, you've never coached against them, you've never played against them, so you don't know what you're going to get. So I think that just adds that little bit of unknown. I mean, they're going to come in here and they're going to give us a game. I mean, I think about the last time we played one homecoming, they came in here and beat us. So, I mean, that's one thing that we've been stressing to the kids is that, it's not going to be easy. No game's going to be easy. I don't care what records are. I don't care what you did last year. Nothing is going to be given to you anymore. So you just got to go out there and play. And, I mean, our kids have really bought into that, and I think we've really locked in so far this week. I'm hoping we go out there, put a similar product to what we've been doing and, get the job done.
I think that's a good point that you make because at 4-0 now, you're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. There's no surprises. You're going to get the best effort you can get from everybody you're playing on every single night for the rest of this thing. Mm-hmm. So, all right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Deer Park Coaches Show. Do not forget, subscribe, comment, go watch us on YouTube, Facebook. If you listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, you can hear us, you can see us, you can find us wherever you get your entertainment. Wildcats are 4-0. Let's make it 5 this week, Tuck. That's going to do it for Tucker Berger. I'm Jake Snyder, and we will see you all on Friday night.